I'm sure you're expecting me to present to you Coca-Cola, case studies, Nike, Adidas, Apple, and talk about case studies of our campaigns, talk about how social media and digital is changing the advertising world, talking about how advertising is dead. But then I was like, you as a student, you need stories more than case studies. When I was 14, you have this moment in your life, you wake up in the morning or evening and you ask yourself, is this what you wanted to do? And the answer was no. So I did that thing that changed my life forever. I bought a computer, and I still remember at that point of time, I was the only or the second person who had a computer in my village. A few months I was just playing all cards and games, and I asked myself the same question, is this what I wanted to do? The answer again was no. The worst thing in your life is when you have a yes. When you say that this is what I wanted to do, then you're not gonna explore the next chapter in your life. So make sure it's a no. And then I did something that changed my life again forever. It was so difficult to go to the capital. It's 200 miles away from my village. I still managed to go, and I bought a CD that has Photoshop 1.0, and that changed my life. I learned Photoshop. 3 years, I asked myself the same question. Is this what I wanted to do? The answer was again no. So I went to this institute in my city, 20 miles away from my village. And I told them, I'll learn something new. I am good in Photoshop, but I wanted anything. They said, we only have 2 courses, Photoshop and AutoCAD. I had no idea what AutoCAD is, but I immediately said, okay. And I told them I don't have money. So we did a barter deal, my first barter deal. I still remember. That day changed my life again. So I used to teach Photoshop to students, and I used to take classes in AutoCAD. And people used to tell me, why do you learn AutoCAD? It's not for you, it's not for designers. The answer was, I don't know. It was there, the only thing, and I learned it. But that course changed my life. At the age of 17, I dropped out from university, from the first day. And I came to Dubai, searching for a job. And I swear, the first ad in Al Khaliji newspaper was looking for a designer who has a background in AutoCAD. Then things start making sense. So I went to apply for the job, and I still remember that ad. There was no Facebook, there was no Bait.com. You used to send your CV by fax. So they only had the fax. So I sent the CV, 2 days, 3 days, no one called me. So I actually called Etisalat, and it was the first lie I did. I told Etisalat, I want to call my brother. He works at the company. I don't know the name of the company, but I know their fax. So can you give me their telephone number? So I gave them the fax number. They gave me the telephone number. I called that company. And they said, oh, we received so many CVs by the fax. Anyways, I managed to take that location. I went there. I got the job. I was hired. I worked for a year. My English was extremely advanced, so people did not understand me. So I went to Australia to study English. And I got a job in the Australian Travel Commission. Stayed there for some time, learned English, and I came back. And then my life changed again. So I joined this company, a small advertising agency. I never applied in global agencies. I never worked in a global company, ever in my life. Why? Global agencies will put you in a certain place. You're a designer, you only do the graphic design. You're a planner, you do planning. It's a huge. In small agencies, you're a big fish in a small lake. You learn everything. You learn PR, digital, you learn client servicing. Hold on, my life will change again. I did a campaign, one of the biggest campaigns for one of our clients. And the client servicing team came back, and they said, we lost the pitch. It was my idea, my execution. Sleepless 2 weeks. I went back home, and I asked myself, is this what you want to do, Mohammed? Design, and then someone who went there to present it come back to you and say it was rejected? The answer again was no. So I want to go into the client servicing. I applied in the Chartered Institute of Marketing in London, and I did my postgraduate degree in marketing. That was before, in 2 years. So I told my boss, can I go and present it? Of course, the answer was no. We asked the client for a second chance to go and present another idea. So I refused to work on that idea. At that day of the pitch, without telling my boss, I went to the pitch presentation. It was the board of directors of one of the biggest regional banks. It was newly open. They want to launch a regional campaign, starting from their branch in Sudan. So their first bank is in Sudan. And I came back, and I did what changed my life forever, again. They refused the second idea too. And the client said, I think we're going with FP7. FP7 at that point of time was the hottest agency. And I said, can I have 5 minutes of your time? He said, of course. I said, I'll go back to the first presentation. I asked him one question. Who went to Sudan? I said, what's the color of Nile? All of them said, blue, white, green. He named the colors. He said, exactly. I told them, the campaign is made for Sudanese. They can relate to the color brown. You yourself, you were just saying you just came from Geneva. So if you're doing this campaign for yourself, then yes, reject it. But you're doing it for Sudanese. Know your market first before you go and decide which campaign to take. You refuse the campaign because it's brown, trust me, it's going to relate to them. And guess what? That changed my life again. So the client went out, called my boss, said, okay, we'll work with you, but for one condition. That guy who presented, we want him to head the project. So my boss changed my title from a graphic designer to an account manager. And at that point of time, I sat with myself, do I want to continue this? The answer was yes. You know why? Today I'm doing marketing and advertising for a bank. The next day I'm doing it for an e-commerce platform. The day after I'm doing it for oil and gas, hospitality. So I'm so lucky to be in this industry. It's the only industry that can teach you everything. Back to the story. So the client loved me. I became his consultant and the vice chairman. And I still remember they called me 11:30. They said, we're traveling tomorrow. So I went to the airport. I have no idea. We're going to Sudan, of course, for the launching campaign and everything. And I flew private jet. And then the answer was again, yes, that's what I want to do. So I started flying with the client, Mohammed Al-Abbar, almost on a monthly basis in his private jet. But I never had that settled down. It's not like, khalas, I reached it. 1 year forward, I graduated from the CIM. The company grew, our company. So the owners decided to get a general manager to manage the company. They started interviewing people from Horizon SCB. I went to my boss. And I was 24. Said, I want to become the general manager. And I was like, Mohammed, you just became an account manager a year ago. He said, I don't care. I know how to drive it. I can do it. He says, too early. And I wish I listened to him. That moment of ambitious, combined with some arrogance, made me not listen to this guy. I met Larry Page 3 years ago. I met him casually at the event, and I said, give me one advice. He told me, start where others finished. Mentorship. If someone knows, listen to him. Anyways, I resigned. I left the company. At the age 24, I established my own business, which is O2. So my life changed again. But academically, I thought I'm still not equipped with what I need. I am against that school of thought of, oh, but Steve Jobs dropped out and he made it. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg dropped out. But guys, he dropped out from Stanford. 1 day in Stanford is like years of other universities. So don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Academia is so important. So start my own business and start my MBA. It was me alone with one employee with 7,000 dirham capital. Then I got that phone call from the client and he said, where are you? I said, I left. He said, I don't care where you are working. I work with you. And I was like, but I can't take you. You are a client of that company. He said, business is business. And he thought that I'm in another agency. 3 months forward, he discovered that it's my own O2. He invested. He bought a majority share. He put money. For the first 7 months, we were working from Al-Qusais in my friend's office, no internet, no laptops. It was just a mess. We got new offices, we got staff, we grew, we signed contracts. We grew to 100 employees in 5 years. And that point of time, the worst point of time that you would reach, when you say, I did it. And I said it, I remember. Had offices in Hong Kong, went there for a year. Offices here in Oman, in Abu Dhabi, in Bahrain, you name it, 100 employees. I had 4 general managers, CEO reporting to me, you name it. The minute you say, I made it, I reached to my goals, the minute you are committing suicide. I was dead. 2011, not over a year, not over a month, not over a week or days, overnight, things turned completely. and my life changed again. 3 of our major clients closed down. They owe us millions of dollars. They closed down completely. So there's no one to go and actually sue them. So we reached to a stage. I still remember my partners came. They met with me and they said, we have to close the company. Close down the company. And I was like, what? We can do it. I started giving solutions. We can do this. We can let go of people. We can hire. We can close offices. I gave them a plan. It's going to take some time. We put some money in it, and it's going to work because I'll tell you one thing. When I was exactly 13, first time I went to the capital, I saw an old man, and he seems to be very knowledgeable. And I told him, give me an advice. Every time I meet someone I like, I ask him for one piece of advice. He told me, and it did not make sense, huh? After 15 years, it made sense. He told me, market will never close. It means companies close, people die, people leave their job. War happens, but market will always be open. I told them, market is open. The conclusion of that meeting, I told them, okay, how about we find someone to buy your shares or mine and get someone to. They said only crazy person would buy this company. And I said, I know one crazy guy. That was me. It all makes sense. So I bought the company. My plan was very simple. Our company was full of debt. So I established another company next to it. Small company, and I took some of the clients, some of the brightest team to it, in the hope that I would sell it, get money back to O2. But that new company failed and closed down. So we failed in one, so the next one should work. So I established the second one. I called it Belong. It was a digital communication agency. And we used to do mobile application, websites, and what have you. And in 7 months, I sold it. A few $1 million, brought it back to O2. And then I asked myself that question. Is that what I wanted to do? The answer was yes. Again, after 10 years. It has been yes for 10 years. 2 years ago, the answer was no. So I went into the most unexpected industry that you would ever think of. Autonomous technologies. It's because advertising. It gave me that thing that you could make sense and logic of any industry. But when you are in advertising, collection of experiences you have got through the 10 or 5 years, you will make sense of logic. And I established my first business in autonomous. It was one of the world's first fully autonomous delivery drones. And then I asked myself again, is this what I want to do? I was very hungry again. So I established another business. One of the most complicated industry in the world is logistics. The second most complicated is food industry. The third most complicated is technology. And then I combined these three together. So I launched a startup for healthy food delivery. So we disrupted a vertical. It's a very, very important term you should learn. Vertical. And that was the first lesson I learned when you establish a business. A vertical is inside the industry. So let's say you decided to establish your business. First, you decide on the industry. So you explore what are the verticals in industry. So Elon Musk saw one vertical in the space exploration, commercializing space trips. So I established it. He disrupted that vertical. So I went there to the industry. We established the business. Now it's one of the most successful delivery companies. I was working with Ragad in the hallway. I used to come in 2003, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7 here. I had someone study here. I used to come with them. And I used to study in your library. And every time I come here, and now, I say to myself, how lucky you are. Don't take it for granted. Whoever is paying for your tuition fees at the end of the year, he's not paying it because he has an extra money. Trust me. He's paying it as an investment. Make sure you give that person return on knowledge. I am sure whether it's your brother, sister, father, or mother paying for this, he just wanted you to be a better person. Be that person. Don't take this university for granted.